Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Dave. Welcome to Aroy District. And my district residents out there, how have you all been doing? I missed you all. Hopefully everything is going well for you. As for me, I'm going through some life changes, but that may be a good thing. So overall, I'm happy. And with that being said, in today's video, I want to show you all my favorite plants for the month of November. And I also want to give you all some updates on new growth, give you some updates on the potting media Pafcal. So let's jump straight in. Okay, so the first plant that is my favorite for the month of November, I got this plant from a guy locally. He sold it to me as a 2-leaf cutting, I believe. And hopefully he's watching this video because I think he's going to be proud of the progress that I have made with this plant. It is so colorful that I don't even think that I can show you guys this plant up against my shirt. This is the Philodendron variegated domesticum. They also call this the mango shake. Check it out. So let's see. This was the leaf he sold to me. It didn't have that much variegation on it. And then it put out like a little tester leaf, since it was originally probably a 1-leaf cutting with just this leaf. Then it put out this tester leaf. And then in my care, I got scared because I got this leaf and then I got this leaf here. And it has new growth coming out. So it has like a very Polaroid type variegation on it. And it's bright. It reminds me of the Jamaican flag. With all the green and the yellow. And I've been making progress with this plant. I mean, I got it as I'm just about a 1-leaf cutting and 3 leaves in my care so far. So this definitely is my favorite, and I need to get this one on a pole right now because, before I got this plant, I was looking for it for a long time, and I was not willing to pay what they were asking for this plant, and I finally got a very good one. So yeah, I'm gonna get this one on a pole, and these the leaves are starting to mature up and it's starting to get more of an arrow shape, and I know it does get some lobes at the top of it, but that is so cool. And this plant definitely does make me excited, brings me a lot of joy. I'm happy that I have it, and it is popping off for the month of November when it comes to this one. I'm not sure why I didn't feature this plant on, previous videos. I'm not even sure why, but I don't know. As soon as this new leaf came out, I tell you, Philodendron variegated domesticum. Oh, so I gotta feature this next one because for the month of November, this is the plant that I do walk in my plant room and I check up on just about every day. So it's definitely a November favorite. It's a top cut from my Milano Chrysum. It's taken off. I took a top cut off of the Milano Chrysum that I imported from Ecuador. It definitely bounced back and it had some new growth, and I cut the top off of it and I put it in semi-hydro, and the roots are doing well in the semi-hydro, and this top cut has been growing just fine. It has officially connected to this moss pole here, and check it out. These 2 leaves were the top cut, and it's putting out the new leaf while after I repotted it into this setup here. So I'm excited about it because I check on this plant every day because I think it's on its way to being one of those Milano Chrysums that we all wish for. I think everybody wanted to get to that phase to where they have the big Milano Chrysum leaves and they get out of this, the top of it is rounded off right now, but once it matures, it'll, get sharp points on the lobes, and it'll be like the big melanochrysum leaf. And I think this one is gonna make it there, you know? So my plan for this is, soon as it reaches the top of here, all of the roots will be inside of this moss pole. I'll be able to pop this plastic moss pole open, make my cut, and start it right over again, you know? So I'm excited about that, and that'll be a journey that I hope you all are excited to follow me on. I'm loving this melanochrysum. Listen, I just got me a ring light. I normally use natural light to film my videos, but the way these cloudy days are set up, you know, through the winter time, I wouldn't be able to film videos with good lighting. So I had to just get me a good little ring light. And I'm mentioning that because this next plant that I'm showing you, I probably won't be able to put it up to the camera because the ring light will probably wash it out. But, you know, I'm learning my way with this new ring light, and hopefully you all like the new look of how I'm filming things. But this next plant I go outside every day, and I like to check the progress of, because it's a very interesting plant to me, and I'm happy to have it. And it is the variegated Huernia, or a lifesaver plant. Y'all know the lifesaver cactus? This is the variegated version. I got this from Mescala Nursery in Long Beach, California, and I've been happy to have it ever since. It is actually growing fast because it was definitely very small. It put out 2 or 3 lifesaver flowers, and I'm sure I featured those flowers on my Instagram, you know. But I'm excited about this one. Is this, you know, I'm into bizarre succulents and cactus, and this definitely fits the bill for that. So I'm gonna have to take you outside to really see this one. Look at this Hoya caudata splash. This is the latest leaf. This Hoya is starting to sun stress now that the temperature has dropped. And it's the Sansi LED light bulbs that are making it happen. Oh, I gotta show y'all this. This is definitely my favorite. Let's see. For the month of November, we have 2 new leaves. This leaf at the top was new, and it actually put out this new leaf down here closer to the bottom. Yeah, but I am excited about this Hoya here. It's still holding on to the splash variegation, and it is sun stressing like no other. And that's all I ever wanted from this Hoya. But yeah, that's the Hoya caudata splash. Definitely a November favorite. So I'm trying to figure out, how can something so small bring so much life to my plant room? Check this. This is my Anthurium Doc Block. I know a lot of people like the Doc Block Anthuriums. Pretty much they are the Anthurium Zara crossed with the Anthurium Michelle. It's a hybrid made by Dr. Block. I guess he is a Anthurium enthusiast who has made his own hybrids. But I'm so happy about this one. This was the new leaf that it put out, and it definitely had the characteristics of the Zara Michelle. It was like, you know, the leaf was I would say like a pinkish red, and you know, the veins are actually still red. And I took a picture of it when it first emerged, and it had that, you know, more of a deeper color than it does right now. But it's so little, and I'm so happy to have it. But yeah, I had to show y'all that one because it definitely made the favorites list for the month of November. Are you all into the Anthurium hybrid seedlings? I bought a few of them on Etsy, and it's really exciting to grow them. So if you're not into them, I'm trying to convince you to get some Anthurium hybrid seedlings. First of all, they look cool. And the fact that they are hybrid, they are much more hardy, and they have a window to adjust to newer environments rather than the species Anthuriums. So if you are, kind of intimidated to grow Anthuriums, the hybrid seedlings are the way to go. I'm telling you, it's been fun, and it's just very exciting to see them go through the changes, being that they are a cross between two different species, into one. So you don't know exactly how it's gonna look, and each seedling looks different. So, I'm just encouraging you, if you ever want to go the Anthurium route, consider getting some hybrid seedlings. My next favorite is a hybrid seedling. Let me show you. This here is the Anthurium copper cherry. So I may mess up on the on the parent plants of this, but it is definitely, I think, kind of like Anthurium moodianum. That's like a big red Anthurium, and it's crossed with the Doc Block, the one that I just showed you previously. So, you have this big red Anthurium that they cross with the, more of the crystallinum looking Anthurium, and this thing is so easy to grow. I got this one from the Etsy shop called All the Plant Babies. I'll throw the name up, and it's so exciting watching this one, seeing how it's turning out, and it's very easy care. I keep this one in, I would say, about 60% humidity, and as a seedling, it is growing fast. It's sizing up fast. I had it for about a month, and it put out this newest leaf that's showing, some different characteristics in comparison to the previous leaves. So definitely, if it's a reputable seller of hybrid seedlings, get you one. It's so exciting. Like, I'm loving this. I'm loving this plant right here. The Anthurium copper cherry. Okay, it's time for me to give you all some growth updates. Some of these plants that I have shown previously have been doing well with new growth, even though the season has changed and we're getting shorter days. And the first update that I want to show you all is my philodendron UPI. Check this out. My philodendron UPI is definitely UPI-ing right now. This is like the classic UPI leaf right here. So we officially have the mature type shape going on with the UPI. And this is the latest leaf. The lobe is a little bit short on this side at the top, but it's okay. This plant is coming along. Mind you, when I first showed y'all this plant, it was a tissue culture seedling. It was a tissue culture seedling, but look at it now. It's definitely doing that UPI thing. But yeah, this is easy to care for. This is definitely easy to care for. I have it on this moss pole, and let's see. It's connected to this moss pole. I don't see any roots like exposed. Oh, actually I do. See, like some roots right there. So it's connected in here, and I think that's what helped it, get these UPI shapes rather quickly. But I let it dry out. I let it dry all the way out, and then I take it to my shower, and then I just spray it down because I am having trouble keeping this moss pole moist. So, every week, this is one of the plants that I actually do have to water. A lot of my plants in my collection, I have put into some type of self-watering setup, either semi-hydro or the wicking string action or something like that. This one I don't have that with. So this is one of the ones that I put into my shower. Take this, I have a removable shower head, and I just spray this whole thing down maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. And this definitely is a hardy plant. It can take a little bit of underwatering because I do let this dry all the way out. And overwatering, I don't think I have that issue because I made sure that the potting media is definitely very chunky for this one, being that I have to water this moss pole. So if you don't know, in nature, a lot of these epiphytic plants will climb up, and sometimes they will give up on the root system that is in the ground. So they will give up on that root system in the ground soon as the roots are connected to the tree, or for this instance, it's connected inside of this moss pole. If it has significant roots in the moss pole, it'll start to give up on the roots down here. And what will happen is, if it ever gets overwatered just by a little bit, it'll start to rot away because it doesn't really need the roots in here. It's going to depend on the roots up here. And that is how you see plants living up in the tree rather than in the ground. They become epiphytes because they start off in the ground. As soon as they get enough roots in the trees, they'll break off and rot away down here. So it is important that if you have a plant on a moss pole, make sure that the potting media is very chunky, because you're gonna, some people stick a water bottle on top of this pole and they, let it drain down in here. And, you water this often. You don't want to rot the roots inside of the pot by watering this, regularly. But yeah, enough preaching. That is my philodendron UPI. My Billietier loves life. Look at it. It is definitely getting huge, longer than my head. I don't know. This leaf right here is kind of questionable, because if you can see that, it's a little bit chlorotic. It's not as solid green as the other leaves. But I have to give you an update because this plant is just growing crazy. Starting in the fall, it just started to take off. Look at the newest leaf coming in. The stem on this is like super thick. So I know that this leaf right here is gonna be a monster. Man, this Billy is going crazy right now. And I actually don't mind. I actually prefer for my philodendron Billietier to grow one way. I know that if you have like a lot of top-down light, they will grow in a rosette pattern. But if I ever wanted to prop this up on something, I'm kind of happy that they're all facing this way. And it'll start to climb up and have all the leaves facing one way. But I do have two of these. I have one growing outside, and that one I wouldn't mind for it to grow in a rosette pattern. But these petioles are pretty long. So that is the reason, that's another reason why I don't want it to grow in a rosette pattern, because it will take up too much space. But look, the aerial roots are coming out of the pot right here and right here. That's what this plant does. It definitely puts out big aerial roots that, clamber everywhere, because the way that this plant behaves is that once it is, connected to something or connected up in the tree, it likes to put out large size aerial roots that can go back down into the ground, So it's almost kind of similar to the monstera. You know how the monstera puts out those big rubbery aerial roots, and they will kind of go down a tree and get some nutrients from the ground below. That's what this one does. But I'm definitely a plant nerd. I like seeing them grow in nature, and if I can, try to mimic what's going on in nature within my house. Like, it's so cool how these different aeroids grow and have different behavioral patterns. Billy Etier is popping. I did a Hoya video, and I showed you all this Hoya crassy petiolata. It only had these 2 leaves, I believe. Yeah, only these 2 leaves, maybe a couple more during the time that I showed you. Look at it now. Look at it now. I think someone left a comment saying that I think your crassio petiolata is leggy. It's filling in. That's what it's doing right now. It's starting to fill in. So it put out a little tendril and then started to grow these. And it also put out a new leaf down here by the base. So, you know, it is growing well, lots of roots, and it's just starting to fill in from way down here. And we have a cluster of leaves way up here. So this Hoya crassio petiolata is doing just fine. It is a very beautiful Hoya, and the splash is crazy on it. The Hoya crassio petiolata splash. So I went on the online shop, Steve Leaves, and I got me this Hoya clemensorium. And you know, that was recently. And just under a month after I got it from Steve's Leaves, we got 2 new leaves right here. These are baby leaves. This one here and this one here. Because when I got it, it was just these 3 leaves. These 2 down here and this one here. And these are the 2 newer ones. But this was a wish list Hoya for a long time. I really wanted one of these, and I definitely got it for a good price, so that always makes me happy. But I'm happy with the growth. I think that I was definitely intimidated by, you know, certain people have these, you know, they say things about certain plants and, oh, it grows slow, it's this, and you have to give it high humidity and all of that. And I'm just one of those, I'm just one of those on PlantTube that likes to find out for myself, because I have my own understanding of a lot of these plants. And this one, no special care. It's in soil right now, and I am a little bit nervous about transferring it out, because I don't want to grow this plant in the soil that it came with, you know. So like I said, I'm gonna leave it, and then springtime I may transfer it to the normal type of mix that I use for Hoyas. But this is doing well, and I'm excited that it's growing for me already with you know, less than a month in within me having it. So this is Hoya clemensorium. So I have about 7 plants that are growing in this Pafcal media, and it's been 2 months or so that I have been growing those plants in the Pafcal media, and it has been great. I definitely like this stuff. It holds on to nutrients. If you know, spray that Pafcal media down with like, you know, nutrient water that you use for semi-hydro, it's definitely holding on. All different types of plants are responding well to it. I have Anthuriums growing in this Pafcal. I have my Monstera Thai constellation now in the Pafcal, and you know, philodendrons in the Pafcal. Every single type of a plant does well in this Pafcal. So this is just an update, and I'm gonna show you just a couple of them that I have growing in the Pafcal. This is another hybrid seedling, and it has moss. I put moss at the top just for the adventitious roots, but this is growing in Pafcal, and I don't know if you can see the roots going crazy in this cup. But these Anthurium seedlings, they do well in the Pafcal. It's like definitely a lot of root growth from this potting media, and it makes it a lot easier, because what I decided to do is I decided to use this type of media drainless. So I use these plastic cups. I don't cut any holes in it, and what I would do is the same type of water that you would use for leca or pond, that nutrient water, I would just spray in here, and I'll let just a little bit sit at the bottom. I don't want to fill this up and soak it. I just wanted to sit at the bottom, and being that this media is made out of a sponge material, it'll soak it up. It'll soak it up. It's wicking action at its finest, but the special thing about it is it doesn't keep the roots too wet to where, rot can happen. I haven't had anything rot in Pafcal so far. So I swear by it. I'm a big fan of it. And, I think this one is called an Anthurium Black Beauty, but I'm a little bit concerned because ain't nothing black about it. It looks like a crystallinum to me. So, the seller said, wait, and it should have, supposed to have like these dark features and whatnot, but we'll see. Another plant that I showed you all growing in Pafcal is this little Clarinervium seedling. So it's starting to mature up, and as you can see, I do have a little bit of water at the bottom, and the roots are going, growing pretty good. We do have like a little messed up leaf there, but this plant is continuing to grow, and we have a new leaf coming in. I don't know if you would be able to see that, but overall this plant is doing well. It's not growing as fast as I thought, but I don't know if you can see in there that root, that fuzzy root, that they just love this Pafcal. The roots love Pafcal. It gives them the perfect amount of aeration with moisture, So if this stuff wasn't so expensive, I'd buy a lot. I think I have one more bag left, and I also have just the rest of this. So, my advice is I would use it on smaller plants so that you don't have to use so much of it. But I did dump a whole bag into a big pot for my Monstera Thai constellation because that plant started to rot in the soil media that I had it in a month ago. So I had to go ahead and transfer it over to the Pafcal because I know that this would save the day. So the last plant that I want to show you all that is growing in Pafcal, and it has also been putting out new leaves, and also it is one of my favorites for the month of November. We have my philodendron strawberry shake. This is definitely a good update because you all remember, if you watch my videos, I got this as a one leaf cutting. That one leaf is still here. This is that leaf. So I was concerned that it's a one leaf cutting. Is the new growth going to be reverted, being that I bought it as a one leaf mid cut, Check it out. We got this leaf, nicely variegated. We have this leaf, half moon variegated. And we also have this one, nicely variegated. So I transferred this one out of a plastic cup into this self-watering container. This does have it's like a self-watering reservoir, and it does have a wicking string within here. The media is Pafcal. This plant loves Pafcal. I got that wicking string, and I leave this plant alone. I put it by the window. I don't even have to worry about this plant. I don't even check up on it often. I don't refill the water reservoir often. I had this indicator here so I can tell when the water is low. If it does get low, which it is now, I'll still leave the plant for a few days. I won't worry about refilling it because let's see. Let's do a moisture check on this Pafcal media. Okay, so this is the Pafcal media. Let's see it. Oh yeah, we still got moisture in there even though the water level indicates that it's low. So, like I said, it remains dry to the touch, but inside of this Pafcal chip, there is moisture. And maybe you can see the aerial roots are coming out to grab onto this. This plant senses that this media has moisture, and it will put out aerial roots, and it will just grab into it. They love this stuff. But man, I'm happy to have this plant. I am happy that it is not reverted. It's putting out variegated leaves, and I highly recommend getting a philodendron strawberry shake. This is a lovely plant. This plant is so dope, and it is growing consistently. It has not taken a break or anything. I'm so happy to have it. So that's all for today. You'll see me around soon. So everybody stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.